Toy Common Swan say, my main car was a higher bedroom on Adom TV, multi TV. So, the Fiaman Qua, then I said that GR phones, the Master Quantum, because almost identity, we need more of those things. Say, boy, I'm here, yet me at you on a Juma 1 year. And I say, sometimes we attack them wrongly, almost representing the interest of Ghana. And yes, say, Tiba community, I say, the bear, the Bribia Dano. What would be a Jimmy there? Only GRI young fan should be on point. On TV Biasia. Now, I call no one our team no Madin Komokama. Now, my car was to be on the say, mention me a ja, you know, Betty May, and Father's Day, Medina Bassono. The Obayana say, oh, Bomodia, so Betty me, Akase, me papa, a friend ABCD. Me papa him a year, a bunabunum quine, and as a rare quine, only pa. In 2 years, I know what trap now. Every man number now the aba or the bar, every selection the aba canon. Now papa will display or have my on that said day. When it's Father's Day, it's just around the corner and to yeah, the Franco for us, yeah, the next chocolate for yeah, the yeah, Franco for us is almost so constant also. And which my main car was Safari for so or Zest consult for so or not so constant because of us and come away in from bro. Yeah, can say there. Daniel, ni quarter titles Glover, Deputy Managing Director of Valco Watnasi. Sounds not. This is the second time I'm in young for Frederick Yao Ahenkwa. Ahenkwa or Ahenkwa? Ahenkwa, very good. Ahenkwa, German North. I think it's a German North. I don't know, I could see, say, me host, you know. Some of the community concerns was more quiet, okay. Yeah, very
terrible.
Yeah, but it be bold in a car, say, Nipa bear 3 frame, you know. Eddie had said, yeah, too many, say, main country road minister. But boy, I'm German North, then it's, I think.
Sampa.
Yeah. Okay, so, Wakwata, second year of our roots. German North for I cried on my ready. You say, Canada is shot. A quantum, so I say, Dawson. But so baby, but you cannot leave out German North. You can't. It will be very unfair. So we job. They do the demonstrate. Yes, ubi tu sana mono. Na bomodiana koye kakra na omo hu se ampa national cake no. E di bi so baby kama. Inti of makwata na pay machiao. Mini Frederick Yao Ahenkwa. German North Mashiri ni ana ya chiao boom. Ya chiao no ya chiao say wadaroma Ghana kwan you see 2 minutes ya wonsa. Because impuna na ipunu. Your contractors will be your Gabriel Koto, your Jasmo, your Kofi Jobo, your Alexi Boamo, your Bibri first sky, your woman na go to wadaroma. The kwan da hon kakra no. Ma mufo mo nche German North na munku di juma fa moye. But unfortunately, there are a lot of press releases about Pamucho Momami and from quickly. And then when we are back, now Yetimi Eddie Yenkomo Kama. There are lots of press releases about Yebabaka. The first one I make in be free. The Peace Council, National Peace Council. Press release on recent issues regarding Nogopo traditional authorities. The National Peace Council has noted with concern the current impasse between Archbishop Charles Ajinasari, the founder of Perez Chapel International, and Nogopo traditional authorities. The attention of the council has also been drawn to statements that have been made by some religious personalities in the country regarding the same issue. Recognizing the fact that the impasse, if not quickly addressed, may have consequences on peaceful coexistence and religious tolerance in the country, the National Peace Council, in pursuit of its mandate to facilitate conflict prevention, appeals to the Nogopo traditional authorities and Perez Chapel International to remain calm and not to give in to provocation as efforts are being undertaken to address the situation. The Council calls on all those who have been affected in one way or the other by the stalemate to exercise restraint and circumspection in their comments and pronouncements on the matter. The Council further urges the media and all those who make statements on the matter to exercise maximum restraint in their narratives to protect peace, stability, and the integrity of our beloved country. We want to inform the public that the Volta Regional Peace Council has begun the process to engage the parties for amicable redress. The Council concludes by respectfully reminding Ghanaians of how far we have come as one nation, living together as one people for many years. And is signed by Reverend Dr. Ernest Edu Jemfi, the chairman of the Peace Council, National Peace Council, and Honorable Sasha Kratawi Ase. And today, another one is in. I'm sure today they are meeting. This is from the National Labour Commission. Very urgent. That's why they say we should treat it. Summons to appear before the commission. Threat of strike by staff of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We have received a complaint as above, dated 5th June 2023, filed by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, notifying the National Labour Commission of a threat of strike by the staff of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. According to the notice, the workers have threatened to embark on a series of industrial actions unless the FWSC restores the payment of allowances to some staff of GBC that are being withheld. The National Labour Commission, in exercise of its powers under Section 139 of the Labour Act 2003, Act 651, writes to summon the parties to appear before the Commission on Wednesday, that's today, 7th June 2023 at 1 p.m. for a hearing of the issues in dispute. With this intervention, the staff of GBC are advised to stay all or any intended action or actions and appear as scheduled, and is signed by Dr. Bernice A. Welbeck, Director, Administration for Executive Secretary. So that's it. And from the Electoral Commission, let me also read from the Electoral Commission, and let me say good morning to Dr. Srebo and all the commissioners over there, even though I still have a disagreement with the appointment of Dr. Apia Hene as a commissioner to a non-political body. Eligibility of the MPP parliamentary aspirants in the Assin North by-election. This is from the Electoral Commission. The attention of the Electoral Commission has been drawn to another misleading statement by the National Communications Officer of the NDC. The Commission, in its previous response to the National Communications Officer, stated that per Article 94 of the 1992 Constitution, a person qualifies to contest as a candidate for a parliamentary election so long as he is a registered voter, at least 21 years of age, hails from or is a resident or has resided in the constituency for a total of 5 years in the last 10 years. Preceding the election he or she seeks to contest. This is the position of the 1992 Constitution, which is the fundamental law of Ghana. The National Communications Officer of the NDC, in his response, makes the claim that the EC only relied on the 1992 Constitution to make the case that a person need not to be a registered voter in the constituency he or she intends to stand for election. He asserts that the EC should have also relied on the CI 127 and in particular the nomination form contained in CI 127 before arriving at the conclusion that persons need to be registered voter in the same constituency he or she intends to contest. To buttress his point, he states that the phrase of the same constituency on the parliamentary nomination form implies that a candidate for the parliamentary election must be a registered voter in the same constituency he or she intends to contest, and that the phrase of the same constituency on the nomination form should override the Constitution. This argument is flawed. For the benefit of the public, the nomination form states as follows: we, the undersigned registered voters in ... it's a blank space, constituency do hereby nominate Asumesi or Bentin of the same constituency to stand for the election as a member of parliament, and we hereby certify that to the best of our knowledge, he or she is qualified to be elected as such. Clearly, as stated above, the nomination form only required those nominating a candidate for a parliamentary election in a constituency to be registered voters in the same constituency and not the candidate who is being nominated to contest. The candidate is only required to hail from or reside in the constituency to qualify to contest in that constituency. If one should interpret what is stated on parliamentary nomination form to imply that candidate must also be registered voter in the same constituency, that would be absurd, unreasonable, illogical, and unconstitutional, to borrow some of the words of Sammy Gyamfi. Was Sammy Gyamfi not aware of the phrase of the same constituency on the nomination form before allowing their candidate for the Kumawu by-election, who is not a registered voter in Kumawu, to contest for the recent by-election? For the information of the general public, the NDC candidate for the recent by-election, Mr. Kwesi Amankwa, is not a registered voter in Kumawu constituency. He is a registered voter in the Ayawaso West Oregon constituency in the Greater Accra region. Why didn't the NDC raise this issue ahead of the Kumawu constituency by-election? The fact still remains that the allegation by Sammy Gyamfi to the effect that EC is working with the MPP to sneak an unregistered voter into the Asin North register is false. It is untrue, and we call on Sammy Gyamfi to prove this. Over the years, Sammy Gyamfi and his party have put out false claims aimed at maligning the integrity of the EC. This was evident in their petition to the Supreme Court after the 2020 elections, alleging that they had won elections. It is well known that they could not provide evidence in court to support the allegations. This current allegation is no different. It is baseless and unfounded and a figment of the imagination of the National Communications Officer. We call on all well-meaning Ghanaians to ignore it. Ghana's democracy has come of age, and we call on Sammy Gyamfi to exercise maturity, decorum, and truth in his discussions on the EC. We urge him to go out and campaign and leave the EC alone. As a commission, we remain committed to conducting transparent, peaceful, and credible elections. We will devote our time to fulfilling our constitutional mandate, having provided the public with the truth on this matter. And this morning, the NDC, through its communications officer, has also responded to the Electoral Commission. I'll beg of you, Sembema Makenkai, and the NDC's response to the Electoral Commission, then we come back to the studio. And it reads, response to the Electoral Commission's statement on eligibility of unqualified MPP parliamentary aspirant for Asin North Part 2. We have just cited a farcical press statement by the Jane Mensah-led Electoral Commission, which purports to respond to the NDC statement on their illegal plot to smuggle the name of a parliamentary aspirant of the ruling MPP into the Asin North voters register. The claims and arguments contained in the said statement are defective in logic and betray the Commission's appreciation of their own criteria and elementary English. It should be obvious to any educated mind that the phrase of the same constituency contained at Part 1 of the EC's own nomination form for the Asin North by-election refers to the candidate who is being nominated, proposed, seconded, or endorsed, and not the nominee. For the avoidance of doubt, the said provision reads, we, the undersigned registered voters in Asumesi constituency, do hereby nominate or maintain of the same constituency to stand for election as a member of parliament. We hereby certify that, to the best of our knowledge, he or she is qualified to be elected as such. It is pathetic that the Jane Mensah-led Electoral Commission has allowed their palpable bias to cloud their judgment and interpretation of this simple provision contained in their own document. Anyone who has a basic understanding of English language must appreciate the fact that the phrase of the same constituency refers to the candidate being nominated. Simply put, the provision requires person nominating a parliamentary candidate to be of the same constituency as the candidate. The inability and or refusal of the Jane Mensah-led EC to correctly interpret the simple criteria set by themselves shows how depraved and once revered Electoral Commission has become, and the extreme length they are prepared to go to manipulate the electoral process for the ruling MPP. Again, the attempt by the Electoral Commission to equalize and rationalize their illegal conduct by citing similar instances in previous election is hogwash, to say the least. It is trite that estoppel cannot negate illegality. A multitude of allegations cannot constitute legality. The fact that the EC failed and or neglected to do the right thing in times past does not mean they should be allowed to perpetuate such wrongs. The NDC is only sticking to clear provisions of Regulation 6.3 of the EC's own public regulations 2020 CI 127 and the nomination form for the Asin North by-election published by the EC on 1st June 2023. If the EC has a problem with that, they should do the needful by amending the law and spare Ghanaians the nauseating comedy they are displaying. As we have already indicated, the NDC will resist any attempt by the EC to smuggle the name of the MPP's parliamentary aspirant, Charles Opoku, into the Asin North by-election. The good people of Asin North deserve to know that the said aspirant is not a voter in the Asin constituency, and is signed Lawyer Sami Jemfi, National Communications Officer for the opposition NDC. How about that go? Press release is going to be shot here. I don't know whether the good
NDC back from talk about the idiot. NDC need you. I don't know money.
Say, yeah, representing the interest of Ghana as in the Electoral Commission.
I think sir, Nedika Yabichia, I shall find you no pay. And easy so to bring me domin my instructions says to one person embassy and I didn't. But Abasa, my mema me brother so Akwaba. This is the first time I engage and run me a label for parliament. Now me say, hey, if you are, I am the say Juma Majai. Me say me chibiu, me come in him.
Ah, maybe Pio so.
Oh, Pio so.
Oh yeah.
I was wrong.
Our protocol office.
Yeah. Oh, na man.
Upi no share ubi.
Bacho.
Na make that form me.
Yeah.
Mko polo.
Ah, okay.
Timi pi me say na.
Okay. Na me application.
Me could be fear na mte say na kura me no na.
I be sure. Come on. Sami Jemfi is a young man I admire so much. His intellect, skill in communication is really up there. Now, Mesreno to be circumspect and sometimes in his deliveries. He's a young lawyer. I know there are a lot of brilliant lawyers in the NDC. And then I'm catch my uncle, His Excellency Sampi Yale. Look, they are brilliant lawyers in the NDC. Constitution why? No other regulation or law is above this constitution. Any secondary law is subservient to it. Before they will make any move, I'm sure they might have some conference. And those legal brains luminary within the NDC fraternity will advise them professionally. But hey, it's politics. It is politics. Yeah. Now, the constitution 94 no catch it faso. Then you are referring to a regulation into a CI. Then let's throw this book away. Because you are a lawyer. And the mobia we piano. Now me share if anything, I say my semi viatro topic you are with my or say, as a discerning and objective Ghanaian, judge for yourself if the Supreme Court decision to annul Honorable Kwesi's election is fair or not. In all this, I'm glad that the good people of North, in whom sovereignty resides, will have the opportunity to do justice in this matter once and for all. My emphasis is here, whether the question's election is fair or not. As a lawyer, when him say, a man say, who can file here, making sure say, if you are holding a very nationality to a different country, you renounce. And you fair na wouldn't cut an letter commission before you go and renounce. I was in Parliament in 2013. 2012, I make to Abano. In the process, I don't have that challenge. Now, Emrena who concerned it here in 2012, when the regional chairman was, I think, one lawyer, Ade, even saying, Alote Jacobs was the propaganda secretary. He came up and he was disqualified. 2016, they disqualified him on the same renunciation as me. 2020, committee says public they call supervision of that place. And there was some disqualification. And it's all by the powers that be. I feel sorry for the young the man who born the bra Canada with such a rich experience. But the process of the no and when you were being sworn in, Fenyomaki every matter no say, yeah, te say Cape Coast my judgment, court my judgment over his head. Which a drama you saw the fight all over the place with Masina Muntaka, Nate George, Bawa, and all those drama that was going on.
But was it because of him?
Of course, he's part of it.
No.
Who?
When he was about to be sworn, that was the speaker.
It was not
the election of the speaker.
The election of the speaker.
It wasn't.
They need his vote.
They needed his vote.
So that's
where Haruna was raising an issue.
Say, leaving for his determine his own
let the NDC err on the side of the law.
That was unfortunate statement.
That was one leg of it. But what rather led to the fight?
Cool down.
The hula baloo. There wasn't.
Cool down. Because you needed that one vote, and you want to do secret ballots.
That is the secret ballot.
But please, you still needed his vote.
No.
That is why you wanted him, because so Nimua.
So that wasn't the cause of the fight. I was there in person.
I was also watching you.
Yes. Honorable directors. Or no, no, no more. No, didn't be do change any action. It's yen can't be yen. And I mean, just what catch us say. They mean say, Edu and pinche by the minority leader then stood up to say they don't have a problem. They should allow the NDC or Jechikwesi to err on the side of the law and face the consequences rather than the one. So maybe all my more inside.
So what led to the kicking of the ballot boxes and other?
So that's what you tell us. But all my
people were voting and showing it.
Okay, so
so come on. The quickly asem na abano na mo mabato abokoto ye na nse na me during their primaries no presidential and parliamentary me colleague Baba Jamal so we free akotia aba ni ma aya waso east of the contesting me colleague Nazir or something, I forgot his name. Me junior Isofaya cool seats obom domi abra ozino oye champion and this for additional seat and you buy every quarter I was so central abeji akonya no e di amano we free domi obom domi abra wo ene wa ba ene Jamal so free akotia e di amani ma for all you know they might have lived there before. You understand? And in a letter commission air catcher will say, by the 94, no, first of all, you must be a resident 5 years preceding the time of the elections. 2, you must hail from the constituency. And who called 94? 94 1. Well, or see, subject to the provisions of this article, a person shall not be qualified to be a member of parliament unless 1 is a citizen of Ghana, has attained the age of 21 years, and is a registered voter. Registered voter, and you can't say we are registered voter, and we doing contesting with German not, and not my constituency. And yes, I'm the catcher. On can't tell me say, because I'm a registered voter in Tema East, I can't contest anywhere. This is what the law is telling us. The Supreme Law. Or calling him, or say he is a resident in the constituency for which he stands as a candidate for the election to parliament, or has resided there for a total period not less than 5 years out of the 10 years immediately preceding the election for which he stands. But this is a killer. He must hail from the constituency.
As a free.
And now me catch it. Or say you want no free of assembly, baby. Get your question free on. No free. No call primary school. No call JHS.
But the point is that even with this back and forth, why wouldn't the NDC keep quiet or go to court? Because maybe the NDC say whether it was a technicality or that was the law. I know that the judge question I could pay baby a did in. So why are we all making noise about it? If there's an illegality being practiced by the EC to the benefit of the MPP, we have two things to do. We watch quietly for them to fall in the gutter, and then we resort to the law courts, or we bar them from fielding that said person. Because we are submitting Friday, and the fact is that illegality occurs so severally. It doesn't make it right. Exactly. So why are we all...
You are right. The only remedy to this thing is to seek legal redress. If you so wish. But I can tell you, in my beginning, let me catch it. I said, look, there are fine legal brains in NDC. A bird has whispered into my ears. So look, before they took this action, this letter that they asked Samijefi to issue, they had a conference. Because before they write that letter, some discussion went on. They gave the professional advice. So look, the angle you are going, it did not help. So let's be careful. And you think MPP also don't know the law? You think we don't know the law? We know the law too.
So maybe.
So we are going according to what the Supreme Law is saying. So if anybody thinks otherwise, he can do whatever he wants to do.
Okay, so maybe how can the trading of words between the Electoral Commission and the NDC already know. Free sa no kure no say twitwi kakra NDC in the Electoral Commission them. But these two releases no some way somehow no esa shemu knama afede tinti be ye adwuma no be kone pepepe about to kase pass da anim to yesha simple no how do we move away because ya nyire ye wan move away from that the biggest opposition party assembly ekano with 137 and then I should be about 136 or whatever and ye come one so you can't just walk over them. So a better yet me ajuju sa de no so ansana ya ba sempote ne kura na ye ka ho asem you know
amai we dey machia
majoso
na machia wa hwefo nyina na me constituency so machia wo me no Eric J say no I am a communication officer I candidate 2016 then nyame I na na regional or Saka national communication team machia no baby o bia na machia party mpanfo nyina nkanka menua sami jamfi senior waka no me fi say ne kwan so a esese asumdwe eba because political parties are yewo ho ye ntumi nka say ye ni isi ye ni nsa woso abrebi esese ye di nsa woso na am say ebreti awani wohwe NDC ye ni isi entemo a senior waka no emonho enyuso na me fi say referee de ye referee a bribia no ese ogina mfimfin na to de bi na nsem bi pagya egina ne asipan enema eya kasa bi ye de eba ye ne una free buna hafu ene naja ya chichim nanka ye bomba ko ya ye nua se ne na wo kan apia hene ye ne na ti sunyane ni eti ha meti ama NDC ebe bi atwam na otewo ema MPP na ne ade enchin na se nipa na ye ne betra political show so ye twi otwi ama ne de na me so me twi akomedie mu no ye se o magina mfimfin emra na omra meye referee menya wa ebeti o say menya bossman asare oni minua penya Ahmed Ibrahim ene ko Legon no mo ye mates school days no ye wo ho obi ani mbabi obi awo me right from university my man yourself I pass it through the ranks uba me constituency I was a youth organizer constituency youth organizer me be a constituency secretary and sana me ba be deputy regional secretary for then Brown na ye nchemu. That year na me parliamentary candidate 2016 but unfortunately anye ye na esa transfer 2020 me ba ya me ya adoma metime we ni amaba mrahye bedwam enti a person of me caliber manfo nim se me di me ho afore amanyosemu o kire bi se ko ba se me party for bia me nya MP kura biom ne ase ye yi me se me nko na me nko ye bia electoral commissioner me nye one of the deputies and me nko ye the main commissioner ofi se me nua paying titles obefa ne say ehina ye twi yamanyosem no akọ. And these are the things we have to look at. They say obi fum kuma obi fum ya. Press release asame di baye ni edikan. Me making kan ye no. Me sheda hu boni bia se bio waye ne kese. Na yisi aba bonten se bio omo so anu ye wo ho omo aba abeyi. Nanka asem no atwa. But uhwe easy press release na get into the latter part of it. Comments are oma making no na abe so personal. Se wu ka chiro bi se nipa no on mature. Yen akanfo. So bi ka chiro se nyini a.
Oni ye nkwadasem.
Uja oni ye nkwadasem. Na sebio a whole national communication officer, one of the largest political parties in this country. Sebio ya be di oman so for some decades. Na yen delegates nyina akohia yi obi se we na ye party ne kasamafo wa ka say NDC ye wa nimdifo e wo party no na se bio sa nimdifo nyina akohia ayi obi irrespective of the person's age kasa bi o ho na wutro e de amanipa na e se wo hwe because posture na easy display no and show se bio the role of a referee. And show the role of a referee. Me kasana oma addressing constitutional issues, no, the legalities fine. Say obi nintiasia. There is a place where we can go to seek for redress. But who hear clarity no we now who stand descending who's so what are you putting out there? And also will give some of us the space to say so many things. Because commissioner now you who say commissioner say neutral, independent, non-partisan. No. Yeah, what party apparatus be no, our system no. But what do we do? Ya can bibia enko. Enti say, uba be whitewash you say bia, uye saint na uye bibia. For us to know that they are a credible institution as they are claiming, no, they should first deal away with. Nipo ma identify with certain political colors ya ni mo ne o ma beka omo. They should do away with those people first. Na fe ye hu se omo wono sanity bi e wo ho afi omo de nsem bi ba bontin ya ye den ya gi atum. Yeah, the fact say bi nipa ye din no enche se bi adwin eni nipa ti o man ni ye nyina ye man yen me so fortunate baby I'm free. I share boundary with another country. Ufri Sampa. It's just some 2 kilometers. Now we're Bunduku. Ye kura ye ni omudinsa was one on days are sebio bibia ni hono uwura a difficulties are ube firm and sana wakwa kodu hono me omo ba ye ho a eno ani se omo wura de bia me kwa me ko ho na me san me chi na me ba ni emi bisa me hu ni se enti one day say oman mu ye kwa ho hiahia mu a ne e ka say ye adwane afiri ya ye die mu akohompa omeje ye enti de bia manamontu me make sure say ade bia say bio ebe say oman wei yasumdwie no e ade a always from me so but no man kitin say ye kukuru mponie na ye be because waka 2024 election is just at the corner. Nti bantai yɛtuma yɛho ekoduru 2024 na ufi sɛ gidie bɛwɔ hɔ paa yɛho sɛ yɛkɔka bom akɔyɛ adwuma na mpo wo announce results a ufi sɛ yɛde akomapa ebesom so isi no me fi sɛ yɛwɔ mpanyinfo wɔ ɔman wei mu ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo kasa na nneɛma bi a sɛ bi ɔkyena ɛdi problem ɛbɛbrɛ yɛn yɛnyimfiri wɔn ntɛm ɛyɛ me dɛ sɛ wodi saa topic yi aba abɔnten ayɛ sɛ bi nneɛma akɔ so obi a mpɛ sɛ ɔbɛka ho asɛm but the very things a ɛkɔ so na yɛsɛ yɛnka ho asɛm no ɔkyena they have the potency to plunge this country into chaos which we don't want ne nyinaa ɔmo a isi ɛna yɛkan sɛ wodi kumawu elections ɛtoto asin of elections won say during filing your candidate no free baby no call na oko contest ye the fact say or contest no obi a yenhwe han no say wabu mra no so no obi a nka ho asem a ene nche say
make it right
you're right
obi a red light
so it is even a non-starter
obi a red light mra na
nti usu kwatwam bia say ukra na okasa asem we because me nim say ye ma meji mensa or a lawyer or a nim before pa engineer friend one learned colleagues wa sua de engineer no mpo say bi ye mu binum lay persons binum near make this
they see at the back contest say na dede bebre ba NDC for mo ye nyine say enya mmara no na ama ho kwan anka mo amunipa madaro mamode ne call ye kumawu nipa no watro ne din wa ya waso west but ohri boom e de kokumawu akwanya ne sense mrada wonjina sa akwanya ne ba manitimi e de ekoto aba wo no nti omadwini mu no ada na mo yedede e ade aye wo
enye dede ne na ye ka kire om se ye tu sa na mo no no mo fi se o mo afam na en ha o mo a no ma ye din a eno nche se ye afam obi tu sa na mo no tia ye na ye fi se mra mu enye adwuma ese ye din
nti se ntiase no na aye din.
That is the issue but when mo na dia ba mo ye regulatory body ye di tumi a hye mo nsa se ya ba to nsensem na mo hwe so enti mo di mo form aba abonten se form no before wo be file nomination no ese se wo de won sa ehye sa krata na se wo hwe of the same constituency me ehọ na me ntia se of the same constituency no as kire ni say what does it mean of the same constituency no as kire ni say because ebinum na say so mo nominative me my co-election this is me second time me call 2016 man win it 2020 me kwa ansa na me win it ye nyina ye ebinum be nominative wa ye nominate omo nominative no anywhere ye nominative no you have to hail from the same constituency and if the same constituency no when we na akofa aba say bi onye samija mfi na designing form no e di ma easy for so why would you create aba na question on the intent of sa phrase na udi ache wona eno no ese say utu ayambia
okay
oman say wa twere wa kuchiri wa dia gu krata so na dia aba na say bio questions wo ho na ebisa wo ehun nsem bisa ese say utu ayambia
okay so what
I don't think going forward no this is a healthy idea ese say
okay so what we would do is I think it's a subject of interpretation. I don't know quite a problem now, but the back and forth with the electoral commission.
So near me can you say I believe say this matter no say near question call ya MBB forecast say omuntia say aja omakoshe nimfanchi a or dia kwa ene supreme court. Oh now who doesn't know?
Ye cobra who doesn't know? Ye kwa ba ye ba ye beto ye komo so. I understand say na we do our happy birthday Shonko and come on Stella Labi or Ashale Buchi. Happy birthday Shonko and come on. Back to Badwam on Adom TV multi TV so my main cow say and young for Daniel Nico Titles Glover, a deputy managing director of Valco, and a Frederick Yao Ayenkwa, also a member of parliament for German North. Onatrasia Yedin Komo Efa Ehuan. If you've just joined us, we are grateful. We appreciate you so much. Another special birthday wish to my one and only brother, father, uncle, and in fact everything, Paul, Elvis, Kofi Frimpong, Wayfree, Oya family, they are wishing you all the best. And this one too to Mr. Fred Richardson of Good Shepherd Methodist Church, Swan Lake, Efri, Abrewa, Bubuashi, and Ode Abba. So, we are Saba back. Open so can be a son at Quay next
yeah, ni America no. I'm say many opinion Eddie can start with constitution no. I'm say oba wa ame ne ho pa na ode aba ni ti onu so kura aboa me because my jam dey work no. Ndi me a me yusu ne gan na ode aba na me so me ja ye adwuma.
Yeah.
Wo hwe ye mra akunyin na waka say usu amra kakra legislation bia this is the mother law of the country inti mra bia inconsistent with the mother law no void this organ bia na agency bi koye nhihye bi na nhihye no ene mra kuni no ebo abra na je se saa mra no esese ye de tunche nje wa advance ni argument very well na menu akwesen asem na meguso a meka eyeme ya yehwe yenu apanyin no na namuntu a watu right from the scratch ebedum pempenso ya there's every indication say why na owadwen pepa say owo allegiance to any country onisa o man no etun kwanta opai yenko 94 article 94(2) or say a person shall not be qualified to be a member of parliament if he owes allegiance to a country other than Ghana. Enra em say yenia ye to abakumawu ye de ne ba parliament enra ye de ne ba no not ye chire ho speaker em omo friend de ne ba o ba obegina simpi so eswa ye di chire Ghana nyina o swa wie ye no ansana ye gina tum say emrashibeni say samre ye di processes a ye gina so eco parliament na si processes no mature nti ye gina sa processes no so na obi se bio tumi a na manfo de ahye ne nsa se wonyina omanam mu na ye ka se ye tu anamon bia kwan bi so no me hu se problem wo ho uhwe ye nua kwesina obi to me contest election who file nomination all right who file nominations we are eno nje se oyem rahye bebi ani ho even who file we are who betimi aka say nominations no why then why withdraw that doesn't make you an MP. Who file nomination we are you go ahead to contest elections. Who contest elections na one win here you are not an MP.
Okay, so those are all the processes.
Meanwhile processes no why filing nominations we who file nominations now who win here even at the point of winning no easier declare say we a winner but who may a member of parliament. You only become a member of parliament after say yaswe in and ye nua question ye bisa ebra on the 7th January 2021 yaswe ni in our parliament na ni renunciation why na onye.
Okay, so
now why mo kura na ma question kwan question eginaye
electoral commission for
no one funny to me and odiginaye his documents were vetted. Am I? Ya na esimra ene edibu oman no. Enti na no issue we call Supreme Court no. We were looking at this point ben ena nipa ne be mra hye bebiani.
Say ya to so about constituency.
Ya to so about constituency no.
Say ya swell
in ena obeye mra hye bebia which is which? Because processes who start here to me end abruptly unwin baby na wa free and that doesn't make you can even withdraw
and out me yare
yes is already in pafufro eba that period nyina doesn't make you
so the belief of more NDC ni say na process ni nyina mu no ebra ye be so en in na see e say saa chinyi na wo ho say allegiance to any other country
exactly eno na ebinom ti nchen a na omudi tutu secondary issues who say secondary ni question issue but these issues differ because secondary yes when in parliament no wa file wa bibia wa call elections no wa win yes when in no na onye on fa prove bia my says two countries na Burkina any UK Ghana kan ho a oye citizenship no wa deny ana wa renounce sa two other countries no ama na be ka Ghana nko and he was sworn in but question at the point of he being sworn in obiadi ho adanse say na the renunciation certificate there aba
okay so it be say
anti na minority na ye argue say Supreme Court ema your interpretation na fe omama directions but omo hankasa formulate emra because as to when to me qualify no easy preserve say ese omo ye nti kaye kan na omo chirechiri mu say o bia we no mfumso ewo ha say ni say nti easy mon take this directive na munye ebi ni say yama parliament order say omunyi question din free mu me fi say obi in free Supreme Court emba parliament enka say obe expand question din free mu directive ene diama an advice ene diama and then me feel say something like that should have come but I say Supreme Court emom na say bi easy adwuma no omom na say omo kuchiri hu kakra that is where ye differ
one second chance mami come on under the 94-2 on the renunciation so who apply na your mawo acknowledgement receipt it is not a certification
very now so
it is not who be so ka chem who apply for passport na we call passport office na we call here event saying capturing ni nyama near my receipt of capturing na then the passport I shall with you must finish the process now do a passport no e shall with some who are going to be able to
na akwantu you dey me say
who kasa
mate was akwantu you
just keep quiet
akwantu you say who yes mate I will not interject akwantu you say ye koso
who kasa nyina no
he was sworn in
so I beg you
far from sir argument I didn't know yen train ma
you understand so me tie me come as the two of you you listen to me listen to me
okay
you are presiding so just no but and listen to me media na mutie
because on no raise issue bia ba
kwabra cool down what can you come me so mama come there you try that you leave the people to judge us me see renunciation process no your more acknowledgement of receipt in it say you have a certification of renunciation documentation I would do calling in no and was so the come with tax clearance come renunciation certificate there come with school qualification certificate when you come the NDC party did a bad job.
The NDC party.
The catcher was said 2012 he was disqualified 2016 he was disqualified because omumpeni for no more region one who say you have a challenge so go and cure that challenge and come back
so I'm back
then 2020 he was disqualified and the powers that be
now we are doing the teaching
please
look at the intent
and it's about the intent
the menstrual
it's about please it's not about that. The Supreme Law is telling you that do what is right
before. And the Supreme Law says
what bad your person
and the Supreme Law says
Okay, so we are rough now.
Oh, we
are rough, papa. Because I'm he's allowed. We want to be allowed. I will see you as I know.
Oh, that's me. You better my.
Now, because I'm my head in Kasa. Because they enjoy show, no. And why I'm in Pacho? Why? So clearly, I am worried too on question. Minimum. But after this question matter, meaning young MP before are more diaspora, who within the party, no, let us try and amend that part of the constitution. Because these are people who have really done well in the diaspora. They have built their homes here. Some have established businesses. They remit money regularly to home. And he said, why don't you allow them to do it? And going forward, I think that portion of the constitution must be looked into and amended. Said ya, but for now, said the TND, Sunday was a corner. Mu and a mum board question. You, the NDC, you didn't help him. And also, you should have demanded the real certificate of the unification. And so you hold that constituency election.
So a bit of
you delayed
if we easy so
because there was a certification, a show. So renunciation certificate no account. One and I'm to get this fate. Some fee was a honorable say, easy for no omukasa de bi enye. Na mo de debia na mo de subo mo do bono. You attack them because they are umpires. You think they cannot defend themselves. They can't. But two wrongs does not make right. Let's see going forward. Afana nyina. We need NDC. He's a major player in this business called politics. You can't take them out. And almost kasa any bizo mo yeno should be measured.
The NDC.
They should be measured.
Our posting towards
the young man, I admire him so much. His intellect, his capacity, the delivery, composure, fantastic. But Edu Bebia, Omani Kasano, and Wofo. He's a young boy growing up, a little over 30 years. My firstborn is 37, almost older or close to his age. And your man Kasano end that form, so that you get admiration of everybody. But Debia, no bezo one champiata, you want to slug it out. Also a deeper. You think it's an institution, so Obia Nabana Yoji, Tasoko Alajana.
Yeah.
Obia no. Ebia Mindi Quatemiasa, Ebia Honabonyasa, but would push Shakobra, wow, Betty.
Oh, my. Oh, dear, ya share some statement or the buy.
Electoral Commission for the
electoral commission at the Abba.
Yeah.
First one, Same at the Babontino. Media. My kind statement. Me who bibia say what who baby asame eto ayampia. Ese say yisi so edi da corresponding reply eba no. That is the issue.
So I understand that the communications minister will be in parliament.
Yeah.
Let me add my this week on this deactivation of the SIM registry. I bibia train last minute. They are called church within Saturday we know you call register SIM. Why? I don't know.
The major challenge of deactivation dwells so much on National Identification Authority. Now they had backlogs of cards I was almost issued that idea. But I'm saying, once the finance minister almost called parliament, both the EC and the Professor Tifa, finance minister can say, said they are economic vendors now they no na yeditua so that they can continue with the issue of the cards. I'm aware me houseboy ni saka ni die on cars bebre o issue nya no o musaka but as to how deactivation ebemu die e ade na e be kan leads na domidia man no yes speaker kwa ni die no na it was active. I mean we are registering the BR and they take it off and coincidentally no sana e dira koye no yenya die no in the way everybody will be satisfied.
Yeah. Okay.
In fact, they gave some moratorium, say about 2 occasions. It's like Mamma moratorium be. I'm saying no anyandua, at least let's continue to extend it a bit.
Okay.
Na yamobia arubini in. Says the national health insurance. It's linked to the NHI card. It's all linked to it. Then the banking transaction at the end, and our conformity with your mom Jim baby. So it is to our own good. I know a boy, Miyama Danfo. He's a designer, very humble designer. Already bicycle from Tema Newtown, to the tailoring shop. Oh, come to eat. The wallet near what the channel, a free toy, and the voters ID card. So I'm not using voters ID card, and it'll be 5 voters ID card. No, it call illegal transaction. Or the shop or come to it in the best one. Then someone police they them. We have to go to court and look, this is an innocent guy. I'm telling you, innocent guy. The wallet if the bottom of will be far. Voters ID card no, it call illegal transaction. We scan the idea. You see in the betchen. And the NIA card no, a kada, and we hear papa. And he was here making sure the nipa to draw now when ya no, ye beboa no monsaka. Am I deactivation now? You between the eye. What does it? Okay. Ye is a beboa. But the buzo ho boniaye or shadow betra wa uncle. One day to the end last week, no the pressure. Echo to so much as well. Yeah, friend, we're going to talk about this.
We'll talk about the roads.
Okay.
No, be here. Let's talk about roads.
I'm going to go to young graduate. Who has a more jama one? Nam, Tema West. Wouldn't nam Clagon. Sun City. What is a greater crowd?
German North, Ukraine.
Oh, Jay.
I'm saying. Well, Yasidana.
Yeah.
My name is constituency.
Yeah.
I'm saying they be Eric Bertrand.
Yes.
Honestly, for you.
Yes, Eric German.
Yeah, you know, free German. No.
Me future lawyer no.
Yeah. Me nene you know hold you free. Na omai. Your constituency no a unique constituency. One, you share boundary with Cote d'Ivoire. And Sampa is the largest border town in this country.
Sampa?
Yes. Your border towns is the largest border town. But Yanka minimum say border town, you near Manfufro, a boss one. At least interior client means easy work. Maybe our mind only other countries a boss no. A ho can say ye facelift kakra e wo ho. Say be obi free Buntuku. Another northern part of Cote d'Ivoire, no ura Sampa. One trakura ma wenchi, one kusunyane, one mabrikum, no sign a chikra. Impression onya eba Sampa no, a general impression about Ghana. But obedru Sampa, now one to us one no sign kwa. Impression bia onya about Sampa no, a general impression about Ghana. Now, some time back, now we share entry points are. Never baby, Jerry for no more generate revenue park si etumi hit target ni kan ye ho because uhwe ho to Abidjan very closer but and because of the deplorable nature of your rules ntino car emfa hobio bebre na kofa doma henkro gonokrom na fe omasimo aba because otitimu bedu doma from Doma ba besi brekum but distance wise no enomu more but they prefer using it because of problems are ombenya e wo kwan so na ne ema make say constituency ni unique constituency no this constituency we share boundary with German South I link brekum yes another route Sampa na I link Sekwa and any time for ebo share na fe ya wura brekum yes another route a link Sampa to Wenchi akwan we nyina ye highway as nka wo pese wo call the northern part of the country wo fa ne ha na wo a adwuma ye nkrofo eye ewo ho eye cashew me ha mani cashew a efiri oman we mu kwa amanone 90% of the cashew you produce no oman if you jam enough
cashew
me na mkachi oman cashew a mo to e wo mall ne hu nkro ne ba nyina e jam enough any produce na wokɔhwɛ tracks no kwan a yɛde nneɛma ne fa so bobɔ amramu bɛduru nkran a
okay
ade a enye na menim bɔne ko a yɛayɛ
bɔne nim
yɛayɛ bɔne me de menim yɛayɛ bɔne bi wɔ ne ama yɛayɛ bɔne ne sɛ me da bia road news amedi n'akyi enra ye free chamber na medi n'akyi na mse ofa because contractor no me da bia me kɔ ne nkyɛn wo de ye main roads kura ya anya ama ya the principal streets in town this is the district capital na wo kokɔhwɛ ye mountain so a president so abegyina hɔ 2019 on the 8th of November ebe kati sword sampa akwan nyina me say ye di contract ne ma da president ibeba no overnight contractor no to me go a half kilometer
interest rate FCA nimya for
me promise say
nimya for Frederick ya hinkwa German no Daniel Linkwa tete
akwan de but enye sample nkwan ne behwe
na say wo hwe ne ye contribute to the national coffers na
tema we discovery ago
na me say
we tema port
almost omfa bi ko
engineer nja German of
almost omfa bi ko almost omfa bi de
engineer nja German of
min kase da me say e be yo video kakran
no abono kura abono kura
meni apen ka be me de
ka bi am
because maka
wow we appreciate you so much. Thank you.
We there, menu apenyin baako. Say wahwe yen
you mate.
He has been one
of ewo bro is.
We there, Mr. Wa, menu apenyin baako. He has been a backbone. Oba Mauli. Okay. 27th year your birthday. Emano. Odin in a grand star.
Oba yapon ye you were film.